When we talk about inhalation, as we get motion, the first thing that happens is the falx cerebri will get looser, the tentorium will get tighter. The ventricles in the cranium will slightly expand. The other thing that happens on the other end is that the sacral well will start to push back. And as the sacral well goes posterior, it pushes on this area of the lumbar cistern, forces CSF to the cranium. That is why the ventricles expand as the cranium expands laterally and as the dural tension changes to allow for that to happen. On exhalation, the system kind of starts to reboot itself. The falx cerebri gets narrower, the tentorium gets, the falx cerebri gets tighter, the tentorium gets slightly looser. And as that happens, as the tentorium gets looser and collapses in, we start to get pressure into the ventricles as it pushes CSF down into the system. As CSF, as this sphenobasilar mechanism flattens, it pushes CSF down into the system, which will then again fill that sacral well. And that whole system, like I said, is pressure variant depending on how much CSF is in the system and how the body is triggered to create it in those choroid plexus. So when we look at the system, we have inhalation here, which we change the dural tension. And again, we have expansion in the cranial vault. As the sacral well gets compressed, we change the lumbosacral angle. It gets smaller on inhalation. So does the sphenobasilar angle. And on exhalation, the angle gets larger. So the whole idea is that as we breathe in, the angles of flexion occurs in the dural-meningeal system. It gets tighter. The spinous processes move inferior, lumbosacral and sphenobasilar get smaller, and the opposite happens on exhalation. This creates that pumping mechanism and changes in the dural-meningeal system.